night. They had sex all through the honeymoon. And then when they came back from the honeymoon, he asked her for a threesome.
What?
She, yes, she was offended by that. And then he turned around and was like, well, even though I married her, the only thing we have compatible is sex. And so, of course, they divorced at the
Well, did
end
I?
of.
I
Well,
must have missed
damn.
that whole situation. I mean,
And look, it
yeah,
sounds
because
like
I've
it had
been
to say
looking for the wrong
what?
one, and I definitely that went over my head. That has
Yeah, the girl, they were sitting at the restaurant together. And he was like, I have a question that I have to
what?
ask you. Yeah, but I don't know how you're going to react to it. And she was like, no, we're getting to know each other as. And he was like, well, since I see that you're real sexual and we messed around from the beginning and blah, blah, blah. Would you mind bringing a third person in the bedroom? And she was offended as hell. Like, even though I gave it up on the
Nigga,
first
I
night, you
don't
were
want to
my
be
husband.
all these extra people shit. I don't even know you really. Like, are you serious? Oh my lord.
Yes.
I need to know. I need to know if you even wash your own butt good. You want to bring somebody else funky booty
Serious.
in.
Come
You
on.
crazy.
Yeah, but that's what happened. So at the end, of course, they divorced. There was another couple that the first season, the minute she laid eyes on him, she cried about how ugly he was. She could not believe that that would be somebody she would never, ever, ever in a million years marry, look at, even.
That's
And guess
terrible.
They're
what?
still
We now
married.
on what, season 8 or 9, and they're
They're
still
still
married. They
married.
have
Two
two
kids.
kids
Yep.
together. Mm-hmm.
See, it ain't always about those
Nope.
looks, because half the time those good looking people the one that give you a
And the
hard
thing
damn
is,
time.
Mm-hmm.
But that
I
sounds
thought he was funny looking, to be honest.
Yeah.
I did think he was funny looking, but now when I see him like on the couples cams and stuff like that, I'm like, oh no,
Mm-hmm.
he into his little looks like he really did, because he's
Yeah.
not as funny looking and bad looking as what I thought he was.
Right.
so because y'all got to know him like
Well,
she was
let me,
getting, well, not as
Malika, I
much,
think I
but
know these people like
getting to
it's
know
like
him.
they my best friends. Let me tell you,
Yes.
because now we
Okay, how many seasons am I late?
oh
Wait.
it's into 8 now. It's like Donna said, they yeah, they pretty much, because now they're
Ooh,
doing Atlanta, and they do different cities and states. So now they're
uh,
doing Atlanta.
Listen, they did Philly. And so the Philly
oh
couples,
shit.
yeah, so they did Philly. And so I think only two out of the four, right,
Yes,
Heather? I think
yes.
two of them stayed. I know Will and what was her name?
Jada? It's
No.
like
Her name was, well, she
I'm
just
just playing.
she just had a baby with somebody
Jasmine.
else. Jasmine, Will and Jasmine. I know they split.
Well, Damani was just
And
telling me that Jasmine had put out on social media, like Will had put up like kind of like a, you know, like kind of like a little inspirational, little like, even to her family and her, and some like inspiration. Girl, she went
Oh yeah,
in.
she lit into him.
Yeah.
Don't be phony. Ain't no reason for you to be posting that. I said, look
All
at her
right,
bitter
man.
ass. I said, she bitter as shit. Because remember, she wanted to stay married and he said
Right.
no. So look at this bitter shit coming on through. That's what that was. She
And
was
that's
bitter.
exactly what I told Damani. I said, oh no, she's still a little angry.
And y'all had me at I do.
So listen to this. So when they decided to come to Philly, I had a girlfriend. She didn't ask, like, she didn't know what I was doing, but I wanted to see somebody I knew on the show. So I called myself, like, you know what? I'm gonna fill out the application for her. Sorry, Mimi. So I decided to start filling out the application. And again, she didn't know. And it wasn't like I called her, like, you want to go on this show? I just was like, you know what? I want to see somebody I know. So I'm gonna start filling out this shit and see if I can get her on there. Well, how about I went to it and the application is like 2,000 questions. They ask you
Mm.
everything. So, what's your favorite color? Red. Well, is it a little hue towards red orange? Is it a little hue towards red orange, or is it a little hue towards, red, crimson red, or red? Look, it asks you every little tiny thing where it got to the point that I was like, oh, I can't fill this out and surprise her because they get real deep into it. They get real deep into it.
Well, I'm ready to watch it now.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah, you
check it
have
out.
to.
You have to check it out.
So start with this season so we can talk about it, and then you can go back and check out the other seasons. Because it's not like you
Yeah,
have
because
to do.
8 seasons.
Yeah, you don't. It's because it's not like you have to watch, the first season to understand the second or
Right.
third. It's,
Right.
yeah.
But let
So
me
Right.
tell you, I
It sounds
became a
good.
troll. I did become a troll because I have been off of Twitter for years, okay? But last season,
Mm-hmm.
with that New Orleans and that Will and that
Mm.
Karen, I got on Twitter to rip
Ooh,
Karen to
wait.
shreds every chance I could get. Here I go.
What?
I'm acting crazy. I said, now enough is enough, Heather. You on here like really acting like I mean to the point where I was even putting out my own daughter. I said, look, if you don't want them, I got a daughter that'll want them.
Oh my
Lost my
gosh.
mind. I lost my
Mm.
mind last season. I lost my mind.
For them, and they're
And they
still
still
married.
married.
They end
Yup.
up staying
Yup.
together,
Now I had to, and
and
look,
they live
and
next
Donna, I
door.
had to go on and apologize. Like I said, these people
Yeah.
not paying me no attention. But after they stayed together, I mean,
Were we just not talking
I
about you?
don't.
You
Well,
part of that group,
yeah,
huh,
yeah.
Heather?
They
Mm-hmm.
come to find out, I am a little
Mm-hmm.
trolly
Mm-hmm.
troll. I mean, on little shows I'm passionate about, I am a troll. But I want to apologize,
Yeah.
and I said, I just basically wanted him to be happy. I thought he was a really thorough dude, and I wanted him to be happy. And so I went back on, and if she makes you happy, you like it, I love it. And but they ain't paying me no damn attention. But I mean, they seem like they're doing well. Last season, I really enjoyed New Orleans. I really, really did.
Yeah. Soto, go
Well,
ahead.
I'm not going to troll on Twitter, but I will be trolling in front of the television. I might grow some purple hair, but I'm going to check this stuff out so I can join in the conversation because this really sounds good. And y'all know I'm nosy as hell any damn way.
Well, the good thing is the season just started. We haven't even the episode that just aired, which was a 3-hour episode, a waste of my
Yeah, because
goddamn
I fell
time
asleep.
because I sat in front of the TV and watched every little bit of it, and it was no wedding. So the weddings is this
Yes.
Wednesday. So even if you pick up, yeah, if you
Ooh,
pick up the old
yeah.
episodes and then the last week's episode and then go into the wedding, so we can see they have an interracial couple this time.
Hmm.
And then this is the first time they had a divorced person get on to be remarried, because before you couldn't be married before and you couldn't have children. But now they have somebody that was divorced before, and the person that they hooked him up with, I think they're like a 10-year age
Mm-hmm.
gap. So I'm wondering how that's going to work.
Oh, wow.
But she wants somebody, based on her profile, she wanted somebody that was ready to settle down, somebody that was ready to, have children, that was ready to like really settle down and not party anymore. So I guess that's why they gave her somebody 10 years older than her, I guess. I don't know. Like
he
us
gonna pull
old
his he gonna pull the strap out.
listen, like us old heads don't continue to party. So I didn't understand that shit, but we'll see. And his old head, she was
I
like
know.
20